So, hello everyone. We have today lecture. You are so lucky that the American accents, Professor Mark is here. Is just observe the native language, so it's American accents. No university and college can provide this at all. We are so disappointed as the professor came to some lectures and find why the students are not motivated at all. We try to find ways, of course. Try to let the professor just join us next year. That will provide you with the original and real English. Indeed, when you go to the test of, the international test, I've seen that it's based on listening, indeed. The problem that face students with this test, indeed, is based on the IELTS. This big issue, indeed. هو مبني على الاختبار الIELTS. In spite of the fact that just they gave the rules of the IELTS is based on listening. So what's the problem that face indeed? That whatever you get, any lectures you are going to see like this is based on function of linguistic structures, right? Grammar, functions. So all students just focus on this issue. That means you have a problem that is around only 10 marks. Only 10 marks on grammar. In spite of the fact that others is based on listening. So listening is so hard job indeed. Linguistics in the field and also methodologies in the field mention that the most difficult things to start is listening. So all the methodologies, if you go to the third stage, the methods of and approaches of English, you are going to see that most of them base how children learn language. So the problem that we face, indeed, that occurs mentioned in this book, which is so important book with better English pronunciation for the first stage, which try to go precisely with it. So it's important about the articulations. The last one. He mentioned that after 10 years, بعد السنة العاشرة, that's your brain box of language is locked. Unfortunately, not. He mentioned that under 10 years old, our children have 1 to 4 imitators. So the flexibility, they can learn around 5 languages in the same time. They can learn Arabic beside English, Russian, others on the same time. Because they have the brains not fixed the boxes of articulations. This is the most problem that occur always, and indeed is so difficult to solve this problem. Because as you are exposed to new language, the second language, also we have a problem how to observe the articulations. So the whole system is wrong. Indeed, we focus on the pace that the test of the international is based on not grammar functional, and unfortunately that. Most our teachers and lecturers, professors in the field of language in Iraq, they get problem with that. Indeed, they cannot fix it at all. We have to borrow some lecturers, like professionals, from the native speakers can solve this problem. Most of our teachers and lecturers who's brought out in Iraq cannot fix this problem. They just get highlights or booklets that summarize things. So we face problem with that, and it's not easy to fix till we need to make research about that to find ways how to improve that and fix the problem. So basically, if we go through the functionals, that already you know the functionals, only 10 marks. So all others is based on what we call listening. The problem with the articulation of English language is that the level, the pitch and tune as well. We have the rhythm, we have the stress. When you hear these things from the native, you are going to face problem to understand what are they say about. For example, let's get this test. We need to go practice. We don't need to go through the functional, as you can see that easy. Go online and just find ways, lots of about the functions. So all teachers and professors in the field, they focus on the grammar for passing this test, and this is impossible at all. It's just 10, you are going to lose 5, so your degree is around 5 to 10 only. You are going to lose because the listening. You cannot understand what they say. For example, we have tests for that. The first students as well, they know well that it's based how to the pitch, the rhythm, the tune of the UK. We have the professor from the USA, which is the accents a little bit different than the RB, as we said or talk about too much. Most of our students like to talk in the accent of Americans. Easier, of course, but the problem that we face with the UK, the RB, which is the better English pronunciation, based the articulation on transcriptions on this way. So let's hear this in one time only. So we need to give you advice how to pass this exam according to our knowledge, as the professor here is also in the field, is like expert in the field of language. He can just give advice as he met students and is supposed to diagnose the problem they face. So please listen and let me know what is this passage talking about, please.
Walk to
Recording 17.
I was just wondering.
Recording 18.
Go back.
A.
I was just
Recording 13.
This is, as we said, a space on what we call it, the listening and speaking skills. The university in Iraq, they didn't use this audio at all. And our students also, they surprised that why use this? We need to pass exam only. So the first stage is supposed to be observe the language, that's from the basic. So whatever the teacher, the lecturers is brought up in Iraq, they have problem with the articulation. So you need to listen to the native first of all, to observe the pure language with articulation is so difficult. First of all.
It's probably about a 10-minute walk to the shop.
Recording 14. Recording 13. Recording 9. Recording 8. Recording 6. Recording 4. Recording 3. Recording 2. Cambridge English skills.
That's, you need to listen first and tell me what is this talking about.
Published by Cambridge University Press. This recording is copyright. CD1. Social and travel. Recording 2.
Hello, Brian speaking.
Hi, Brian. It's Mark here.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fine.
I haven't caught you at a bad time, have I?
No. I was just watching TV.
Oh, good. Have you had a good weekend?
Yeah. I went to the cinema with some friends yesterday. I haven't done much today. Just at home, watching TV. Yeah, it's been good. What about you?
Yeah, not too bad. Hey, actually, the reason I'm ringing is because it's my birthday next week.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I thought I might have a few people around at the weekend to celebrate, and I was wondering if you wanted to come.
That sounds good. What day?
Saturday. A Saturday night.
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday.
I don't have any plans for next Saturday. Great. What time?
About 7:30?
Okay, but I don't think I can get there till 8 o'clock.
No problem.
Do you want me to bring anything?
No, nothing. I'll get the food and everything.
Okay. Do you want anything special for your birthday?
No, you don't have to buy a birthday present. Just come along and help me celebrate. That's all.
Okay, that sounds great.
See you on Saturday.
Cool. See you then.
Bye for now.
Bye.
So now today we are going to focus on listening. Indeed, there's tips how to pass the exam of listening. As the unseen passage based on listening, also listening and speaking skills as well is found in the same this test. So first I'm going to of course get hand from my colleague Professor Mark to give you tips about the listening. But all of all, I'm going to ask a question. What is this conversations talking about? And why? You have hands up here. Yes, and yes, like you.
The conversation talking about someone has a birthday in the next week and he invited as a friend. I called him and tell him to come in the next week. He asked him and was wondering about the time and the date. He told him at Saturday, the night of the Saturday, and told him the night. It's 7:30 in the night. He replied to him by telling him that he will come at 8 o'clock. And he asked him if he went a gift in his birthday. And if he went to bring a food to his birthday. He replied to him by telling him he did not want anything from him, just to come in his birthday.
Yeah, that's what we call one wonderful imitator like you. Just observe all the information. So it's talking about the invitation to a party. That's the title. So how to solve this problem? You know, they go around. First, you need to see the question first of all. Focus on the questions and pick up the most important information that you are going to talk about. So as you mentioned here that you observe all the information, but then you need to solve this. Now I'm going to give the Professor Mark the time, the whole time, because he's the native of the USA. He cannot talk in Arabic at all. Be sure that don't ask him. If you don't understand, just raise your hand, you just translate to Arabic language. If it's important to you, it's crucial. So raise your hand if you don't understand. I'm going to just translate his speech to you. He's going to give you tips about the listening. As I told you before, this international test based on IELTS was based on the listening skills. So any passage you are going to listen, any questions you are going to listen, any stories listen. Just one thing, that the grammar is based on the paper. So if you improve your listening skills, you can pass this test. Unfortunately, we're supposed to find another strangers who are going to come to the test, but we've seen that our students says, no problem, just tips for your future as well. So I'm going to give him talk to a Professor Mark to talk about his tips in English in general. So for that. Yes.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. As we all know, listening is the most crucial and fundamental skills of all the 4 skills as we know it. Of language learning. Okay, so listening is one of the most important and crucial skills of all the 4 other skills of language learning. It is the basic foundational, important for comprehension, building blocks, grammar, intonation, and most importantly, cultural understanding. The first step of learning a language in general is the listening skills. As the professor said before, we are not focusing on the listening skills, which is a very bad thing because we study for an exam. All exams are written exams, but I would really suggest like a fluency exam instead of like so listening plays a very important role in speaking, fluency for more effective communication, because language is very active and it is very crucial to listen first and then try to speak. The other development will come in time, especially the grammatical, directly and indirectly. So intonation, assimilation, the use of grammar, the natural words in their natural environment context. That will never be readily available throughout reading only. The other two skills will come in time, especially the syntactical and semantical, in like subconscious way, like an autopilot, but it has a direct effect on fluency and effective communication. So do you want to add anything?
Yeah, no, yes, it's okay here.
Okay, if you want to go through the slides, you can.
Oh, okay, I'm going.
I don't think they understood anything.
Yeah, it's so complex to them.
I guess.
I know, this, it's from the high level for them.
Yeah.
Indeed. So as we said before, students on all the taste T, which is get taste of the IELTS or other things, we have basically 5 skills to be covered. The first as we told you how the children grow up with the listening. First thing observe the listening, then speaking skills, then reading the last one, which is supposed to be more complex, which is writing skills. Then we have what we call, which is we add another one, which is communicative competence, that you are able to transfer art. So if you go through the functions, you have all the rules in your brain, of course, but you cannot express. This is a problem that we face, that methodology in the fields, also the linguistics in the fields face that need to improve the methods and approaches, how to let the students like you or learners for the other language, not native language, how to talk, how to express the competence of transfer the idea. As you can see that we have the so important that to talk about the culture as well as important. For example, as Arabic, we said, give me the pen, right? أعطني القلم. This unacceptable art was not impolite. You need to say, would you please give me the pen? If it's possible to give me the pen, could you please give me the pen? So that means what we have the gap. We have the gap. So we observe the what we call the function, the grammar, and we step the rules. We know the tense, the past, future, present tense, but how to practice these things. So we face that students cannot know what to say when he try to enter the class. Either he signed like this, or he say in Arabic, أقدر أدخل, because he can have in the communicative competence, the skills how to transfer the idea. Supposed to say, may I come? It's possible to come. Like this was like polite. As we said, degrees, we mentioned that as can and could. As we say, we prefer to say could more polite than can, because the can is like they have ability, the power to talk about. So first of all, let's go back from the very beginning. So of course, it's supposed to get the lecture for the expressions, how to use expression. If you just provide them some expressions, like polite expressions, how to say.
Yeah.
The culture is based on culture, something like that, or something
Based on the cultural understanding, right?
If you tell him some ideas how to use this, okay.
It's just the body language, and so as it was mentioned, the body language and the expression, the tone, which is used, play a very important role in communication.
يعني
and an
يقول
example.
يتحدث هنا عن الباي لانجوج، يعني اكتساب اللغتين. احنا قلنا اكو مشكله باكتساب اللغتين خاصه بعد ال10 سنوات، تمر بطرق وعره ومعقده جدا. Yes.
So body language, sometimes in communication we use hands, face expressions, and other terms of expressions just to convey an idea or convince people.
لغة الجسد نستعمل أحيانا إحنا للتعبير، أكيد هي موجودة لغة الجسد، التعبير عن الأشياء اللي بداخلك. بس.
other things we use sarcasm and rhetorical questions.
Type questions,
Rhetorical questions and sarcasm. So rhetorical question. So for example, a rhetorical question is when I ask somebody something about a fact which cannot be denied, like, isn't it going to rise tomorrow for the sun, for example?
Yeah.
Of course it will, but it's a rhetorical question. It's just to convey an idea or prove a point. Just to make a point.
يعني هو مجرد yes.
Like someone know the answer and ask.
Yeah, it's just around. So that's mean يعني سؤال عام يطلق من قبل الشخص اللي هو على قولتك معروفة الإجابة مالته. هذا يسمى لأجل فتح نقاش أو حوار.
Yes. So to start a conversation, of course, as it was mentioned earlier, exchanging pleasantries, like "Good morning, how are you?" and so on and so forth, instead of saying, "Hey, would you come to my party?" Like as an example of the audio, they exchange pleasantries, asking about how everyone is doing, and then asking about how the weekend was. You want to translate?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So,
يعني مثل ما شفت الأوديو ما قال تجي للحفلة مباشرة ما يصير. صار الراوند شلونك وشلون حالك وشلون كذا، فأنت من تسمع يعني ولو خارج الترجمة راح تكون هذا الكلام، من تسمع هو مو البوينت المطلوب هذا، مو هذا البوينت، فأنت لازم تكون حذق، لأن السؤال مالتك هو شنو الفحوى، فلا تروح على هاي الأشياء الظاهرية اللي هي الكالتشر اللي good morning شلونك how is doing things, then go to the cure، ثم تروح إلى الكيور اللي هو محور الكلام الحقيقي، فدائما يبدأ الحوار في أشياء عامة ثم يدخل في الخصوصية، لأن ما يصير مباشرة تقول تجي الحفلة لحظة. Yes, go ahead.
yes. So another thing of making an expression or proving a point, or to give a point of view, is sarcasm, like saying something which is not correct, or like being sarcastic, just giving a joke, or making a fun environment for a serious situation.
يعني ممكن تطلق نقطة أو شيء مو حقيقي، تثير يعني فد شيء قبل الحديث، هذا ممكن الحوار الثاني، يعني تدخل بنكتة، تدخل بشيء مو حقيقي لأجل هذا، ثم تروح إلى الموضوع المطلوب.
Beside that, we have a very wide examples on Shakespeare's plays, which is another thing. It's called a comic relief. It is a sarcastic and a tragedy, a sarcastic play within a play, just like in Hamlet, for example. Have you ever read Hamlet? Or okay, so in Hamlet, it's a tragedy. It's a sad story. Do you want to translate?
Yeah, it's like
it's a sad story, but
maybe?
there is an irony in the situation and a comic relief, especially the play in the play.
مثل ما تشوفون هاملت يعني مسرحية شكسبير هي بالحقيقة هي تراجيدي، هي مأساوية، ولكن عبر عنها عن طريق شكسبير حول يعني فكاهة كأنما صارت يعني في الكوميك يعني مسلية، ولكن هي بالحقيقة تراجيدي. Also, I'm just sorry for interruption to give you another example. If you, I don't know whether you call the Merchant of Venice, which is the conflict between the Jew and Christianity, Jewish and Christianity. Jew is Shylock, Christianity present by the Antonio Bassanio. If you remember this story. So Shakespeare, according to my point of view, I don't know what the professor his point of view about this, lots of critical about this. If you see in general, you are going to see that the Jew is selfish, is bad people, they are just looking for money. Meanwhile, the Christianity, on the other hand, they present the merciful people, they are good people, in spite of the fact if you go through it, you'll see that Pasanio is foolish. Pasanio is like, have no aim, just looking for rich women to marry for money. And then he go to Antonio to help him, to borrow money for his marriage. The problem, they go to the only usual, Murabi, which is Shylock. Shylock is strict person. He said that Antonio is not trust. That person, no strike, is not going to give me the money back. So what's done now, he just tell him, I'm going to give you the money for your friend, but on one condition. If you didn't get the money back, the borrowed money back, with the exact time, I'm going to get some from your flesh. آخذ من لحمك. It's like the same weight, like meat from his flesh, weigh to money, a barrel, so around a pound, رطل يعني يسموه. So now, of course, Antonio couldn't pay back money on this court, and they just said that Shylock's supposed to take money, to take the flesh according to the declared document between them. So he just shakes his knife to cut the pound of his flesh, and then there's another circumstance. Here the problem is that whether the Jew is bad or the Christianity is bad. Who is the bad? So the story said that no, the Jew is very bad. How can people take flesh instead of money? Others said no. The Jew represent God. They are straight. They go to the stride. They have no joke. They need to go straight with people. If you cannot pay back money, why you are borrow this money? So this is what we say that the coming with the threat. Yes, I'm sorry.
So, other mean of communication or proving a point is the tone, pitch, and volume of a sentence. For another example is did you see the situation yesterday? Or what have you done in the situation yesterday?
Yeah.
So it's just like the tone.
Yeah.
Okay.
The tone in American tune in the UK. Tune, yeah.
Tune,
So
yeah.
it's tune in America. In the UK, the UK is we use tune pitch. So he mentioned العفو هو يتحدث عن الموضوع لحن الكلام صعوده ونزوله يأثر على معنى الكلمة. When I say he give example, I'll give you another example. I'm going to take it with the unit 7. Thank you. That's not thanks. He did his job. For example, the person who sit in the front of me, he has job here. He represent the head of these workshops. So I tell him thank you. That's mean you. That's your job. There's no thank you. When I say thank you, that's mean I'm really thank you. So it's about the tune. He gave أعطانا مثال آخر وبالحقيقة استعمل غير مثال أعتذر من عنده. Yes, Qasim.
Yeah, so it's just the same example. If we say hey, thank you.
Yeah.
That's a sincere thank. If I say thank you, that's a sarcastic too. It means I didn't even thank you.
Yeah.
It's just a joke. You're not even thankful for that.
Yeah.
So the pitch.
يعني العفو حتى تستفادوا من المعلومة كلش حلوة انطاها يعني هو يعني قال نوع من الثانك يو بس هو طاها بطريقة أحلى من طريقتي يعني ممكن يقلد بالثانك يو مالته شكرا يعني قلدت عليك لأن أنت إنسان استعمل الثانك يو راح ركز على اليو وليس على الثانك ومن ركز على الثانك هو فعلا دا يشكرك ثانك يو شكرا لهذا العمل اللي سويته ممكن يصير تقليد إذا استعمل التيون اللحن بالطريقة المميزة. Yes.
Also, the intonation and assimilation plays a vital role in the communication process. Like speaking slowly as I do right now, just to give an opportunity for learners to absorb and understand what I'm saying. In real life, it will be a different tone, different speed also, like the speed, and intonation, assimilation.
Yeah.
So the intonation and assimilation
Yeah.
express other ideas.
طبعا الكلام البطيء مثل ما يستعمل البروفيسور الحالي هسه واحنا كنا نستعمل هذا الكلام البطيء هو فقط للتوضيح. هو مو اللغه الحقيقيه الدارجه اللي تستعمل السرعه يدخل بها السيميليشن. شنو معنى السيميليشن؟ يعني فور اكزامبل السيميليشن مثل he's or he has always asked. He's always asked. لاحظ الاو والاي هي باور. هنا راح يصير جلوتال ستوب عندنا. الباور اذا جاب بالجمله راح يصير جلوتال ستوب راح يصير توقف فاضطر اوقف على الباور. فهو الحقيقه من تدخل بالسيميليشن ثينكس راح تتخربطون بالامور تقول هاي دا يحكي. المفروض شو اقول؟ هي زل وي زاسك. هي زل شوف قلت الزي حتى غطى الاو. زلوي زاسك جبت الايز غطيت بيها الار اللي عندي هنا باور حتى يتغطى هذا kind of simulations. Sometimes we delete, sometimes we add. Good morning is not good morning, cause simulation. Goodbye is goodbye. تمن كلمة تمن هي كلمة بالحقيقة بريطانية استعملوها للهنود اللي هو تشيس التمن اللي بيه 10 أشخاص ولكن بالسيميليشن راح يصير تم وليس تن. تمن نو تن من. إذا صار تن راح يصير هنا obstacles راح يصير عندك glottal stop and then we have to avoid the glottal stop. So all of us, of course, like the professor said, we try to slow down language. That's bad to you as well. If we talk like the same tone and pitch as he said that simulation, delete things, that means is you are not understand us. ما راح تفهمونا نهائيا. فهاي الشيء طبعا يدخل في اللغة الدارجة لازم always listen to the native. Why you listen to native? Because native use some specific tune, some specific like rhythm, like also simulations, things. Lots of our stress. He used the strong and weak form as we told you about that always. So you need to go ahead with this normal speech of the native.
And also, of course, many other important factors like intonation, expressions, tones, volume, if you raise your voice or lower your voice in certain circumstances, it has an effective also communication hidden meaning. But most importantly is to share the cultural understanding.
Yeah. هنا عندنا الصعود والنزول بالنغمة في الصوت الإنجليزي طبعا يأثر حتى بالمعنى. ولكن أهم من كل هذا الشيء هو ما يسمى الكلتشر نسميه ثقافة. كلتشر ثقافة يعني ثقافة البلد. تعكس اللغة مالته تختلف عن اللغة اللي نستعملها. يعني هم أحيانا نحن نستعمل اللغة مالتنا تحول عربي الإنجليزي يعتبروها إهانة. لأن ما بيها البولايت ما بيها الطلب المؤدب أو الريكوست أو حسب ما هو الشيء المطلوب.
So as a conclusion, we need to take all those aspects in general as a whole, as one entity for the language, to be more effective and fluent communicator.
Yes, give example for that.
So we'll take all those factors as a whole to be effective communicator.
يعني هاي العوامل كلها ذكرها من ناحية الكالتشر ومن ناحية السبريشن من ناحية التيون والبيتش والثينكس باللانجوج هاي كلها لازم تاخذها بنظر الاعتبار حتى تقدر تطور لغتك وتكون مثل النيتف. ما يكون اللغة مالتك شاذة مختلفة يعني وما مفهومة. فهاي لازم تاخذها بنظر الاعتبار.
So as an example, the final example is like sometimes when we hear Like, for example, Russian people, like the people who speak Russian, we think that they are like fighting or they are very harsh, and but it's not the case. It's just the tone that they give, maybe sometimes the body language,
Yeah.
or the intonation,
Intonation.
assimilation,
Yeah.
which is, by the way, the only language in the world that doesn't do assimilation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
يعني
It's just
يتحدث
an example.
مثل اللغة الروسية. طبعا أنا نتحدث عن اللغة العراقية. اللغة الروسية من تشوفه يحكي ويتحدث طبيعي بس كأنه ما يتعارك. أنت ما تفتهم تقول هاي شبيه يتعارك. كذلك هم الأجانب يعتقدون إحنا العراقيين عندنا مشاكل لأن صوتنا دائما عالي. فالصوت العالي بالتفاهم معناها عنده يتعارك ودائما يقول شكو فما شيء يعني. يقول لا ما شيء ليش؟ قال هيك يعني يحكيكم. Yes.
Like the German accent.
Yeah.
Exactly.
الألمانية نعم ممكن إيه حسب اللغة. Shall we finish and just ask if they have any comments?
Of course, yeah.
Now we almost finished the lecture. I expect that unfortunately there are other learners. يعني انتم متوقع هذول الطلاب اللي يمتحنون يجون حتى يستفادون بس احنا وقفنا المحاضره مالتنا لين تشوف الطلاب قاعدين فاعطي شيء يفيدهم. ما اجوا الجماعه رغم احنا نشرنا شلون يجتازون الليسننج. انا محضر الاوديو مالتي شلون يعبرون الليسننج لان كله مبني على الليسننج بس ما اجوا ولا واحد. فطلابي ما اقدر اعطيهم المعلومات لان ما عندهم شيء بالامتحان. So we almost finished the lecture. It's around 1 hour and I hope that you get it. If you have any questions or comments, you need to ask the professor or me. Just you have time, please try to ask. There's a good chance or opportunity to communicate with the native of the American accents is present by the mark which is marked. Yes, any questions? طبعا قاعدة من أقول لك أكو سؤال لازم تسأل. يعني ما يصير ما تسأل. هاي قاعدة بالمؤتمرات. لازم تحضر لك سؤال وتسأله وتستفاد منه. Yes.
Yes.
My friend just wondering how can he improve his language, the English language.
This question to you.
So, of course, it's not just English, it's for any other language. They are an active entity, and we need to start with the listening skills. As we mentioned earlier, listening skills is the most crucial and foundation of learning a language. And as some of you, I remember before the holidays also, we talked about this a big deal. If we want to see like who is the best learner of a language, a child, of course. A child is the best learner of a language. How does the child learn? First, listen. Listening. Everything else, all the other skills, the other 3 or 4, 5, whatever your perspective is, will come through. But listening is the first one. Speaking through trial and correction will be the second one. Reading and writing will come later on.
Right. Yes. Any more question, please?
Yes.
Sorry.
Please. Oh, you have stage fright? Okay. I don't know. Imagine them like children. This will help, like children. Just imagine the audience like children.
Mm-hmm.
That could help. Same question. How to be active in writing? Okay, so are you talking about style? How to make like a good style? Well, style, it's a gift in the first place. That's why I'm not a poet or a writer for that matter. But like reading a lot of novels, like stylistic novels, could help a lot.
يعني هي بالحقيقة يقول هي موهبة الكتابة ومو أي واحد يعني يديرها، بس أنت حتى تطور مهاراتك لازم تقرأ هواي، تقرأ الأكاديميك يعني مو تقرأ السلانكس الأكاديميك دول مثل براون سي براون. So good style in writing, complex but has so benefits. Yes.
And there is a common say, it's not a rule or proven by study, it's just a common say, just a common say. They said, if you memorize 1,000 verse, you'll become a poet. I don't know whether this is true or not, it's just an example.
Yeah.
Like 1,000 verse of poetry, you'll become a poet. This is what they say, a common say.
يعني إذا أنت حفظت فد ألف بيت شعري راح تكون شاعر أكيد راح تبدي تكتب لين. Yes, what else? Yes, Benin. Yes, you have a question.
How can you speak fluently without any stops? So, of course, it all came to practice. Practice. Okay, so I will give you an example or something. It could be helpful. I don't know about you, but it could be helpful. Just try it and see whether it's effective in your case, in your personal situation or not. Try to talk to a mirror.
Yeah.
You have difficulties because you don't have vocabularies. If you have a vocabularies, like words, meanings, available, not just knowing them, but readily available when you need them, that will help a lot. And practice also, like try to practice to a mirror. Yeah, just stand in front of a mirror, keep talking, don't stop. Even if you make a mistake, keep going.
Oh, listen.
So yes, it's the same. It's the same thing. I think I know the problem. The problem is you don't have the meaning of the words readily available. You have the meaning, you know them, but they are not readily available. When you know the meaning and it is right there in your mind, ready to go at any given time, that's memorizing. But if you know it, you cannot memorize it or use it in a time of need. You need to focus on that, I think. Keep your translator in your mind. Okay, yes, because they are not readily available. And practice will help because they will become like as a habit instead of thinking of it and then saying it. It's just a habit. Yes.
She just was wondering if she can speak faster and not stop the talk, right? Or when she talk, her talk.
Like it's okay. So there is a term for that. It's called the laziness of speech.
Yes, I was in a way to, and I fixed that in my language. I was like thinking about the words in my mind 3 times and then spell it in my mind.
Yes, that could help. That's part of your practice. Everyone is different than the other one. We learn on different paces, different levels, different means also. So in your case is to practice it like 3 times in your mind and then you say it. That if it works for you, that's just great. That's perfect. If it doesn't, you need to find something else. In your case, same thing. Like find the sweet spot for your learning. Try this method If it works for you, then perfect, problem solved. If it doesn't, find another thing.
Yes, Sarah.
Yes. Could you please just raise your voice? I cannot hear you very clearly.
If anyone from us wants to start to read like English novel or mythologies, do you have
Yes.
any suggestions?
Recommendation?
For us? Yeah.
Okay. I cannot answer you directly because the things that I like maybe not the things that you like. I would really recommend. Okay. Like, what do you like? A drama, a tragedy, a comedy? What is it? So, my favorite as a person, I don't know about you, is Ernest Hemingway. I like Ernest Hemingway a lot. His style is just mind-blowing. It's awesome. I love Ernest Hemingway. That's me. But other people do not like Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you
Ernest.
like.
Yeah.
You're like him or not.
Yeah.
I like Ernest.
Yeah. For you, as students beginner, just follow Tolstoy. He used so simple language and also his interesting stories. So try to follow Tolstoy, find books about him, and read his short stories, and also there is poems. Yes.
Yes, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, so a lot of people like Harry Potter or, Game of Thrones or George R.R. Martin or even comic books like, the Avengers, Iron Man, Star Trek, Marvels, DC, Disney. It doesn't matter. Find something you like. I like something else. I'm an old man. I'm not like you. You're just very young, and your environment, your culture is different than mine.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you be in my position, what's the most effective way to learn, speak, and communicate with other people?
Listen and practice.
Practice.
Listen and practice. Very simple.
So now, is there any questions? So almost we finished today's workshop. We hope that you get some benefits. Also, we need to just say a big, huge thank you for